I am so ridiculously out of the loop. At the end of January, EA confirmed that Star Wars Battlefront 2 of the new Battlefront games is coming this year in 2017 at some point. I'm guessing around the Christmas period before episode 8 comes out. That's kind of logical, I reckon, for it to come out. But more importantly, they have confirmed that it will have a campaign. Now, this better be a good campaign with a really good narrative, because that's something that me personally, as a Star Wars fan, from the Star Wars games, I'm after. I want a campaign, and then I want the multiplayer in addition. I think kind of what they did with Battlefront, the new Battlefront, it's kind of a bit cheeky, just because they didn't offer that much content. You know what I mean? There wasn't a lot of content there to begin with, and I think that's what put me off more than anything else. I just kind of saw the reviews and saw what people were saying. I was like, there's not a lot there for me to get my teeth into. So for me, it didn't justify a purchase. Even though it looked great, it looked like legit. Like, they'd scanned things from the movies, they'd studied a lot to get things like movie accurate and look brilliant. But for me, there just wasn't enough. I hope they've kind of doubled down and improved a lot in regards to kind of like the maps and the spawning problems and all that kind of business, because Star Wars kind of deserves more. And I think that there does need to be a campaign. Like I said, the campaign for me is probably one of the most important things. I want that story, and then the multiplayer. I just hope it's not kind of the tacked on kind of campaign where they go, okay, you're just going to be playing the multiplayer maps against bots, and then there's kind of not really that much of a story, kind of like what they did with the original Titanfall. Like, that had a campaign, but it was like, well, a pretty lazy campaign. Like, I want characters, I want to interact with characters. I want a character driven campaign, like full on proper campaign mode. I don't want to, if it's tacked on, like, I'm not really interested. But I'm wondering if they're going to bring back like the Galactic Conquest, because that was a really good way of doing a campaign, actually. If they can kind of mix in a campaign with that, and you get to go to various different planets all over the galaxy, and you've got the galaxy map and all that kind of business, and that's how the campaign takes place, then that would be good, or I don't know. It's like, when I think of old Battlefront 2, they had all these different locations from the movies, some like Felucia was one, and they just had loads of stuff. Like, literally, I'm thinking about it now, and they had loads of planets, loads. They had prequels, they had the originals as well. They had everything. I'm sure even they had like Dantooine as well. But man, it's a really good opportunity. But the graphics today, you can do a lot with, but it's harder to do more with, if you get what I'm saying. So it's like it seems like they're more concerned with how great the graphics are, rather than how much content they can give us. And I know that developing these games is like way more expensive than it was like 10 plus years ago or whatever. But there's people that still play the original Star Wars Battlefront 2 today, because it is that good and it is that fun. There's even modders. There's a mod like where you can kind of improve the graphics to such an extent whereby it looks pretty darn good. It doesn't look as old as it actually is, which is great. But fingers crossed, the campaign is really good. I'm hoping this campaign, the idea to add in a campaign, came about because of that tweet John Boyega sent to EA asking about as to why there wasn't a campaign. And I think he may have had a meeting with them. I'm not sure. Maybe if he did, maybe they could be like kind of like an FN 2187 story, perhaps. Maybe. Although Finn was newly a stormtrooper in The Force Awakens. That was like one of his first few missions. So maybe not, but who knows? There's possibilities, and I'm just happy that they're kind of now being explored, and it's not just oh, here's some multiplayer, go and play that, create your own game kind of thing. I don't know why a lot of companies do that, but a lot of developers even, sorry, but it just seems to be the done thing. But anyway, campaign is coming, the Battlefront 2, and I hope we get loads more free content as well, because putting down 50 quid or 40 quid, 45 quid, 60 bucks on a game, you need to give us content, you need to give us our money's worth. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this time it will be like that. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.